We are so grateful to be supported by sponsors like our friends at Chisos Capital. Everyone knows that raising capital is hard. And frankly, finding the next pool of entrepreneurs to get access to as limited investors is sometimes impossible too. Do you have a big idea, a dream you're building, but you're struggling to find early funding? Well, Chisos is changing the game for founders, creators, athletes, and investors. Whether you're launching a startup, growing your creative brand, or training for the big leagues, Chisos backs you. Chisos uniquely invests up to $100,000 in people, not just products, whether they be entrepreneurs, creators, or even athletes. With their unique CISA model, convertible income share agreements, founders get flexible funding without giving up equity or ownership, and investors get attractive returns and great upside with less risk. Chisos works for both investors and the people bringing our world to life. If you're seeking access to a truly diverse pool of deals, or you're someone who feels overlooked by the VC game, Chisos is ready to back you. So apply now at chisos.io.
We are so grateful to be supported by these community champions: Sales MD, Team Friday, Realist Lab, Kiana Patterson, Diego Chavez, Jer Boucher, Heather Ryder, Janine Sua, Lily Roca, and Steve Kernan.
Hey, everyone, it's me, and I'm back here with you to share a little bit of our stoppage time, kind of between the end of our week and the start of our weekend, which here in Los Angeles this weekend, it is a warm, actually pretty hot, summery weekend here in Southern California, and I am grateful for that. It's time to get out. I get in my super sweaty, humid hikes and walks at the end of my days. I try and seek out those sunset breezes. Visited with some friends last night who are passing through from out of town, and got to do a little bit of a walk around the city, around some of my favorite parts of the city. But it was right at sunset, right as kind of the Pacific Ocean breeze kicked up a little bit to cool us off after basically like a 90-degree Fahrenheit plus day. So yeah, it's summertime here in LA. And that always spurs a bit of gratitude from everybody. August, September, early October is kind of our hot time of the year. So just feeling this week a lot of gratitude. I've had gratitude on the mind, frankly, since Sunday, even before the week started. It's really all I could think about. At every challenging moment or turn this week, I didn't feel kind of despair or anxiety, as frankly I often do. I felt gratitude. I felt a simple appreciation for, as I said to a friend, and I think I even wrote about it on some of my social media posts this week, like I felt a simple sense of being grateful for what I have and not worried about what I don't have yet. And one of my friends even really highlighted that "yet" word that I used one day in conversation, because that's literally the headspace I've been in and the heart space I've been in all week. I didn't really understand why at the beginning of the week when there were some twists and turns and some challenges that were presenting themselves that would have made me or a normal person maybe not necessarily feel grateful, but feel anxious or fearful of what was to come or how hard the obstacles were going to be to overcome in front of me. But as every great moment then unfolded and happened this week, many very unexpectedly, very serendipitously, I didn't overreact in a celebratory way. Instead, I kind of leaned in again and I felt myself breathe more deeply and really just soak it in a sense of gratitude. And really the punchline for me this week, as I listened back to my conversation with Jamilah Corbitt on this week's episode of Entrepreneurial Thinkers, which dropped on Thursday, and which you can find, follow, subscribe to on any audio platforms and or watch and enjoy what I look like here on camera with Jamilah on our YouTube channel. Like, she talked so consistently and clearly about her keys to building any great entrepreneurial economy or ecosystem, or frankly, just building a great entrepreneurial life. And she was just bubbling with gratitude as I listened back to it, right? She reminded us that her keys to success are things that we can all work on in our lives and our businesses. And they're really just rooted in gratitude. Like first thing she taught us, listen to those around you, right? That's how we learn and that's how we lead when we build in community. Always build in community by being helpful and creative. And then tell your unique story at every turn, every day, every opportunity, because everything we need in life or business essentially sits on the other side of us telling our stories to the world. I've had the pleasure to know Jamilah for a handful of years. And once you know Jamilah, you know that she just deeply lives steeped in gratitude and joy. And I really do hope and encourage you to go enjoy and listen to this episode, because I think you'll feel her infectious joy and pragmatic optimism and energy kind of bleed through the screen or bleed through the microphone into your ears. She's smart, she's talented, and honestly, she just always vibes positively. And she and I always share great vibes. So I hope you enjoy that conversation as much as she and I did making it for you. But as I talked about, like this week, frankly, as I've shared with you repeatedly over the course of this year, much of my life and the building of this new media company to make our podcast and some other media properties that we have eyes on, as well as to build out our studio production side of our business, which is to create and produce podcasts for other brands and organizations to help them tell their best stories to their communities. It fundamentally depends on other people helping me succeed. And this week was just another one of those weeks where I was deeply reminded by my team here, by Deanna, by Anna Paolo, by my most trusted friends, some recent, some of many, many decades, by my professional friends, collaborators, by former guests who, again, we have such deep respect for and trust in and gratitude for our guests that we don't just call them guests, we call them alumni because they become part of our community. So those folks, as well as some of our sponsors who, again, are some former guests, or alumnus of the community, some new, that support my work, that support what we're trying to do. Like folks who've literally always been in my corner helping me create my dreams. And recently, a couple of those folks had placed initial bets on the studio side of our business, which is trusting me and trusting us to help them craft and tell the best versions of their stories. And some of that trust has then created some serendipitous, just literally unexpected, lucky, grateful moments and some breakthroughs for us this week that have just reminded me that in the early week struggles, or frankly, this last 2-3 weeks of struggle, where I oftentimes would turn towards anxiety or turn towards fear of the unknown, like the reality is just lean into being grateful for stuff even before you have it. Be grateful for your dreams when they are simply dreams and opportunities before they actually become your realities, right? I think when we wake up in the morning as entrepreneurs or leaders, we can choose to lean into what's possible. I talk about that all the time. I think we have an opportunity, as I said last week, to become pragmatic optimists. And we can do so with this anticipatory sense of gratitude and gratefulness, an expectation of what's possible as opposed to a fear of what might not happen or what might not come true. And this week, I really did that after a few weeks in which I said I struggled, right? The attitude of gratitude is the way forward. It lit my path this week. And then when great unexpected things started happening, I immediately tied it back and thought, wow, like this is unfolding because of what happened over here. I was grateful here, and therefore I stayed optimistic. I stayed upbeat. I stayed in my positive energy as opposed to my anxiety or my fear. I didn't shrink. I didn't close myself off. I opened myself up. I asked for help. I told our story as often as I could every day, and eventually things break through. My dad used to say to me, you make your own luck, son, by believing when others don't, and then just by persisting forward towards what you see. Because eventually what happens is you create the conditions that then others will step into and join you and be excited and grateful to be there. So thank you to all of you. That's honestly really all I came here to say this week during stoppage time. It's like my energy and attitude today on Friday, heading into the weekend in the middle of the summer, is really I just want to thank you. I want to share my gratitude for all of you with you. I want to send you big hugs. I want to tell you that I love you. I want to tell you how grateful I am for you. I want to encourage you to tell people in your lives and in your businesses, people who are helping you, people who are betting on you, people who are believing in you, how much you are grateful for them, how much you love them and expect and respect them. And I want you to just find joy this weekend. I'm going to be right back here next Friday with you to share some more of our stoppage time together, share some more of my thoughts on what's going on in the world around us and the most recent episode of Entrepreneurial Thinkers. And of course, you'll see me back here with a new episode of Entrepreneurial Thinkers next Thursday. And in the meantime, again, I'm so grateful for you all. Thank you. take this gratitude that I'm giving to you today and pay it forward in your own community, in your own lives. Because I promise you, there are people around you who are helping you to succeed and make things happen. And sometimes you don't even see them until they present. Boom, right? So be grateful for them in advance. Expect that they're going to be there to help you succeed. And then just work together to make great things so that we can do what I always say on Entrepreneurial Thinkers every week: leave this world just a little bit better than we found it. Peace, love, joy.
We are so grateful to be supported by sponsors like our friends at eSudo. You know, running any business, but especially a law firm, means balancing a lot. And technology, frankly, shouldn't be a headache. eSudo makes information technology and cybersecurity simple for law firms large or small. With over 20 years of experience, they specialize in everything from Microsoft 365 management to advanced cybersecurity solutions. They help you to stay ahead of threats, manage your data securely, and keep your tech running smoothly so that you can focus on what matters most, your clients. eSudo understands the legal industry's unique needs, offering tailored solutions to ensure that your firm is always in compliance and always protected. Are you ready to upgrade your firm's technology or get help with your questions? Visit esudo.com.